Hey y'all, Bad Girl Mystic here. So here is a quick video. Um, I felt inspired and I'm going with the handheld because I'm telling you, if I stopped and crossed over to set up the whole like dealio of the stand and have the background music from my Spotify, like little things that you do when you do videos. But if I stop to do all that, then what I'm feeling in the moment creatively would get diluted or maybe even lost or caught up in something else. So I'm going with my instincts, which said just share what you're doing right now. So this is the green magic page from the Book of Shadows, Witch Life. And today is Magic Monday, so I tried to share magical, creative things with you on Magic Monday. I have fun with those hashtags because it kind of gives a little direction to my own creative process, because I'm someone who can be running like 7 or 8 creative projects at a time, and that's me scaling down. Samantha Bennett's wonderful. She was my creative coach. She's the one who taught me how to start with just committing to something 15 minutes a day. And this is how the coloring practice for myself to not only heal my nervous system from trauma, decades of trauma, multiple traumas, but also how to tap into that creative magic. Really put that focus and awareness to the sensory information and how I feel and how I move in my body and what pulls me. And that's what I call the she magic. And green magic is about the element and about connecting with the natural world around us and being aware and putting our attention into the moon cycle. So this is where, as a new witch, I've been studying witchy things for almost 30 years, deeply, but as a out-declared new witch, using things like green magic and moon rituals and spells on a regular basis, like committed practice. I'm a newbie, I'm a baby. All right, so I'm a Taurus, I'm an earth sign, I have a lot of earth elements. Looking at your elements, you'll see where whatever your dominant sensory learning system is, are you visual, are you kinesthetic, are you auditory? This is where you're going to feel pulled to express your magic. This is where it's going to come with ease. So let's take a little tour of this page. I did this with the watercolors that I just recently got. They're Hero Guanghai watercolors. There's a little bit of highlighter in there for a few places where things started to get a little muddy. But this is monochrom, this is green. I did dip into the aquas and I did tip into the very yellow greens. And as you can see, like, because of the neurological challenges I have, my hands do shake. I've had a traumatic brain injury. I've had years of PTSD. My hands shook all my life, to be honest. They just got a little more expressive after traumatic brain injury. This is one of my favorite elements. I really liked how this little section here turned out. To me, that's just like, wow, okay, cool. And I'm going to go in now and do the details. Just add little details here and there. I am learning less is more. Did the G here in a little bit of marker. And the leaves, I did little itty bitty leaves. I just went through with a blending pencil. To because it's such a tiny space and there's so much room for like just going out of the lines, that I went for just like kind of putting a little mark on each leaf and then blending it out. So I have here a metallic gel pen, a green ink pen, a light, like almost like dried out highlighter. That's one of my favorite tools to work with for blending. A green sparkle crazy art pen, and a darker like pop green highlighter. And I'll see where they take me. I'm gonna go in and just spread now the fairy dust, I like to call, like the little finishings on a page. And here's one cool like little inspiration. I forgot about this. There go all my pens. There's certain things you do in art school and then it starts to come back to you. I never went to art school, like art classes I've taken, but anyway, I had a problem with one of my other pages. It got saturated, a little bit too much water with the watercolor. So today I remembered to get a spray bottle. It's easier to go lighter, and then it's like you can, you know, spray up above and it's just like a little mist, and you can, you know, then blow dry it. You know, you can just blow your breath on it, it'll dry just enough. So like little tricks to just be able to move the pigment without too much saturation. Now I'm repurposing a flower essence bottle, and I do believe that with energetic medicine, especially in intention, things like that, I like using this because it's like spraying that healing intention into my pages. So a little added magical twist. Now, the other thing I got was Gamsol, which I've never worked with. It's non-toxic. And it's another solvent. I've had problems every time I open it. It's childproof and shit goes flying everywhere. So what I did is I repurposed an old dropper bottle. And this I like to use, then I can use it with either a blender or a napkin. I'm not big on Q-tips for some reason. They're just not something that work well for me. I know a lot of people do really well with them. And I put this in like an immunity bottle. So once again, just repurpose it, but this way I have more control over my solvents. And then I just freaking reached across the page really quick. Okay, this is one of my new books I got for my birthday. So I have the Magical Planner. I like to use binder clips so that I'm not constantly struggling with the pages. But anyway, this is the new one I did this weekend. I'm going to take pictures and post it. I really like the way the cauldron came out. But if you see here, see the paper is worn. I sprayed it with too much water and it started to pull the paper. So what I like about this is one of the only pages in this book that's double-sided. Otherwise, everything in this book is just single-sided. So I'm playing more, I guess, get all these coloring pencils, and then of course my brain's like, okay, now let's do markers. So what I like about this, I originally started coloring with coloring books. I was using Crayola markers for a long time. The coloring pencils was a really new twist for me that I started last year with the Magical Planner. But this, I went back a little bit to the old markers, and then I did a complete, like, everything but the kitchen sink on this one. Crayons, markers, pens, you name it. All right, so that's my Magic Monday. That's what I'm up to. I've got lime juice in the bowl. I've got coffee now in the cup. Had my green drink this morning. So as far as like the power cycle, which is until summer solstice, you know, just adding those little extra things. I wore some ankle weights this morning. Did some, you know, steps. Like we have one step in our RV. So I use that step to do a little workout to start to build up the weaker power muscles. So the weaker power muscles, think of the back of your legs. Think of your glutes. Think of your low back. Think of your shoulder blades. This is where we hide our emotion from the world. This, if you take a picture of yourself, we did this in massage school. If you take a picture of yourself from the front, you take a picture of yourself from the back, you take a picture from the right and the left. The front is what we show the world. The back is what we hide from the world. Our right is our masculine side. Our left is our feminine side. And look at where there's light and shadow in the pictures. Look at your posture. Look at how different you look from each angle. And what is showing? Where is a shoulder higher? Where is a hand clenched? Where is a hip turned out? Where is the head tilt? Where is the jaw clench? So when we start to see how we're restraining our power, especially as women, we hold, there's been this collective societal belief to survive by making ourselves smaller. So as we expand into our power and we connect it to our heart, and what's most important, expanding our power becomes more effortless. When we come from this space of just honoring our journey and our survival and how far we've made it, and that we have the ability to create a inner world that then transforms our outer world, where we are in our corner, where we are supporting ourselves, where we are expressing our creativity, where we are expressing our affection, when we are expressing our joy. When we expand that out to who we are, we actually are opening up our palette. We are playing with more colors. And the more color we play with, there's even more on the floor. I'm running out of space. The more colors we play with, the richer and more mysterious and more there's this resonance, this satisfaction when you're in the pocket of who you are and where you want to be and who you're with, and expressing yourself through what it is that you love and gives you joy. It's not an overnight snap of the fingers. It's not a 30-day miracle plan. It's just showing up every day for yourself. And that's the magic, because then we watch the power bloom. All right, I'll give you Chihuahua cam right before we go. There's Dobby. He's like, why are you putting me on camera? And Darla. Hi, sweet girl. Stay safe. Stay frosty. All you have to do to power up is just support yourself today. Mwah. Peace out.